The jungle went silent when a stray dog leapt forward, sinking its teeth into the neck of a giant python that was crushing a tiger cub. Hisses, roars, and desperate cries filled the air. The python writhed, dust exploding around them. The tigress circled, roaring in agony, paralyzed by fear. And then, the unthinkable, a frail stray dog hurled itself into the fight. Could this starving dog truly stand against such a predator? Stay until the end, because this battle didn't just change the fate of one tiger cub, it changed the life of a stray. Watching it all was Malik, 62 years old, a veteran ranger in the Sundarbans of India. Frail, silver-haired, he lived alone in a small wooden hut. For months, he had seen a stray dog lingering at the forest edge, a thin, gray-coated dog with bones jutting under his skin. Malik called him Shadow. No one claimed him, but whenever Malik appeared, the dog wagged his tail, his eyes shining with trust. That heavy afternoon, Malik heard a chilling hiss. Following the sound, he froze at the sight. A python, more than 20 feet long, coiled mercilessly around a tiger cub. The cub gasped, striped fur slick with sweat, eyes filled with terror. The tigress roared, pacing in circles, but held back. She knew one wrong move could crush her cub instantly. Malik clutched his wooden staff, heart racing, but he was powerless. His hands trembled. He muttered, "I'm too old. I can't fight this monster." The weight of helplessness pressed on him. This was the cruel law of nature, and he was only a fragile man before it. Would death be the only ending he would witness? Then came a bark, sharp, defiant. Shadow charged forward, his thin body hurling at the giant serpent. With a snarl, he clamped down on the python's neck. The coils loosened slightly under the shock. Malik stood frozen. He realized the fight was no longer his. It was now a battle of the wild. The tigress seized her moment. With a roar that shook the trees, she lunged, claws slashed, fangs sank into the serpent's scales. Shadow held on, even as the python slammed him against the dirt. The python twisted, looping around the tigress, but she ripped free with raw strength, tearing at its body. Leaves and dust exploded in every direction. The ground shook beneath their struggle. It was chaos, primal and fierce, dog and tiger, unexpected allies, locked in a storm against the serpent. Malik stood apart, gripping his staff, powerless. His knees shook, his heart pounded. He longed to help, yet his body betrayed him. All he could do was watch in awe. In that moment, he understood. This was no ordinary fight, but nature itself, teaching a lesson in courage and unlikely unity. The python weakened, thrashing in desperation. Shadow, bloodied and exhausted, refused to let go. The tigress struck once more, her massive jaws snapping the serpent's body with a bone-cracking sound. The python hissed in defeat, retreating into the undergrowth. The cub staggered free, gasping its first breath of safety. But instead of leaving, the tigress bent down to Shadow. She touched her nose to the trembling dog, her golden eyes no longer fierce but grateful. Malik rushed forward, scooping Shadow into his arms. The dog's body shook, his eyes dim with exhaustion, yet burning with pride. The tigress gathered her cub, leading it back into the forest. Before vanishing into the shadows, she stopped, turning back. Her gaze met Malik's, a silent bow from the queen of the jungle. From that day, Shadow no longer roamed alone. Malik brought him back to his wooden hut. The frail stray had found a home. At sunset, Shadow lay peacefully on the porch, eyes calm, scars hidden beneath his fur. Malik whispered, "You saved a life, and you saved me too." He knew then, humans are not always the saviors. Sometimes, it is the smallest creatures of the wild that remind us courage and love still live in the heart of nature. But if you think this story is the most miraculous, you haven't yet heard the man who saw a python attacking a pregnant lioness, and the dog's next move shocked everyone. Don't miss the video beside this one, because it will show you why the world wept for a small dog's heart.